Welcome back to Recationcast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to bring you another movie review. This time around, we're going to be talking about the film Uncharted. And here with me today are two special guests, Chris and Angel.
What's up? What's up?
And what's funny is I just realized I could have just said Chris Angel, and it just would have been the same thing. Just one person.
Do not want to
Combined, you guys are Chris Angel.
No, I don't want to be associated with mere magic illusions. Unless you call me David Blaine.
The only thing he likes is Magic Mike, you feel me? So
Hey!
Different movie. But so let's get into it. We're not gonna really get too big in early in the spoilers, but we can talk a little bit about spoilers in the second half. But the first things first, Uncharted is the new film featuring Tom Holland as Nathan Drake and Sully being played by who is he played by actually? Mark Wahlberg. Marky Mark. Yes. It's a film based off the video game The Uncharted series. So it's one of those video game movies that you never know how well they're gonna do. It's one of those films you gotta like. Are they gonna do a good job based on the franchise? In my opinion, they actually did a reasonably good job as far as like the concept of what Uncharted is, the adventure, the cinematic adventure, treasure hunting genre. What were your thoughts on the film, guys?
You go ahead first, Chris.
I got you. No, I was gonna say, no, I liked it too. It was really good. It wasn't. From my experience from watching like certain movies that are based off like our video games and stuff, it's there. Sometimes they do a good job, sometimes they don't. It's literally just like a curveball. It's either hit or miss, I guess. And I think they did pretty well. I mean, I think some of the scenes were forced, like Tom Holland, I guess Nathan Drake meeting Sully. You know how in the games it's way different than what they portrayed in the movies, right?
Yeah.
And I just think it was a little. I personally, it's not like a big deal for me, but it's like, you know, it's just like, oh, they kind of forced him to talk to, you know, Sully or whatever, even though they were like friends prior, anyways, in the games. But you know, again, there's certain scenes that are hard to believe. They're hard to believe. Yeah. So like I was gonna say, like I'm pretty sure they just, you know, use the game as references. They're not trying to like, you know,
1-to-1.
Yeah, 1-to-1, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Okay, Angel.
Me personally, I was just trying to watch it from like a point where, cause I've played every single game, like I've played all of them. So watching it, I'm like, okay, I can't think that way. I have to just let it be its own new creation. So I personally think that the movie was like a 10 out of 10. But I mean, it might not be a 10 out of 10 for people that play the game because
Wait, 1 second. Is he scratching out for you, Chris?
A little bit, not a lot.
I don't know. Yeah. Can you repeat that again? Yeah, you were being scratchy a little bit.
Wait, let me put my hair.
Maybe it's the hair.
Maybe it's the hair. It's the hair that's...
I can hear him better now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I can hear him clear.
I'll probably just keep it shorter than what I was going to say. But no, I would give it I personally think it was a good movie. Has a lot of potential. I didn't technically. The only thing I didn't like was Mark Wahlberg's character as Sully, because what we know Sully as is like a 60s,
an older gentleman.
Yeah, bigger guy, and then here you got Mark Wahlberg, a good-looking, fit guy. So it was just a lot of different things. But you know, I think it's good for it to be different because then we get a new story. That's
true. So getting a little deeper into stuff before we kind of get into the bigger stuff. Some of the casting, for sure, the casting is kind of weird. Like I said, Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, Sully as played by Mark Wahlberg, and Chloe played by Sophia Ali, yeah. So for sure, it took me a while for me to get kind of used to Tom Holland to play Nathan Drake. Toward the end of the film, I was like, okay, I can see him as a Nathan Drake. It's not perfect, but it's believable enough for the films. Kind of like what you said, Angel. The Mark Wahlberg's playing Sully. It was tough because I kind of saw a lot of like Mark Wahlberg's old characters mixing into when he was playing. He kind of had his swagger, Mark Wahlberg's swagger to his characters. So it kind of didn't really do kind of the Sully. It had to be. It was like a different version.
Yeah. I think his character in the movie kind of resembled a lot to I don't know if you ever watched Four Brothers, but that it kind of gave me like that kind of style of his act. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like his like the way he acted, like he said his swagger, like just like his whole like it's so different. And honestly,
His demeanor, yeah.
Movie, I thought I don't know why I thought about this, but I thought Tom Hanks would have been a really good Sully.
You know what? That actually kind of makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, because I was thinking about it. Like who would make it a good Sully?
Yeah, that's tough.
I did not think about Tom Hanks, but yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, he does portray a good older character, I guess. You know?
Yeah, I can see that.
He's at that age where he can portray a pretty good older person in a movie.
I could see that too. But like as far as that, plot wise, it's your standard treasure hunt, Indiana Jones puzzle, everything you want an Uncharted film to be. Like the tale of them trying to go for the like shipwreck gold. Like there's no real big surprises. Just some like if you haven't played the games, you wouldn't understand kind of the what is it the
references and stuff.
And there's a few little references, but it's more of it's a way for story. I'm trying to think here. Not plot holes. Story beats. Like when you play the Uncharted games, there are story beats. Like this is how it begins. This is how. This is all the weird like mystery stuff to learn. Some weird twist. Continuing the adventure and finale. And if you knew the games the way they are like that, then you kind of know what you're getting into on Uncharted. And if you didn't, like just an average viewer, like kind of like what my sister did, she went into the film blind. She enjoyed the film because it's a really nice action-packed film. It's there's all the fun sequences, a lot of the fun mystery, a lot of this ancient stuff, kind of your old school Indiana Jones level of stuff.
You know
yeah,
what
I think that's true.
So you know what I like about it? I like some of the cinematography that they had. Some of the shots that they did, or the live shots, they were really like the whole ocean view. That was really.
Yes, they were.
I feel like some of the things I would say a couple like the movie parts, like you said, were kind of forced. In the game when like he's falling out the plane, he's like dealing with jumping from cargo to cargo. But like in the movie, it was kind of hard for me to like really like take it too serious. Cause I'm like, Jesus, like. If this was like real life, this is not even close to being possible. I don't think anybody would even be able to do that.
No.
But then my biggest problem with the movie was like in the games, right? When you're trying to figure out clues and like find places, like in the movie where the main thing was like the key opening, like finding the key slot. And so in the movie, it was so easy to find it every single time, to where it was like really no like you would think a treasure hunt is gonna be very difficult, but for them it seemed pretty easy, So. I guess like that part, I feel like they try to make it. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah, no, they forced it to do it. Like it was forced. Like they already know like what to do or whatever, without having the whole difficulty of like, oh, what the fuck is this? Like, hey, there's this map. Is it a treasure map? We don't know. But...
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's its own thing. All right, so let's get in a little bit into spoilers, but before that, let's kind of give it our rating so people can listen to afterwards if they want to hear more. But for the most part, it's a fun film. It was, like I said, it's action-packed. For me, the casting was a little off. For me, Mark Wahlberg is still. It's hard for me to believe him to be Sully. Tom Holland, it's a little bit believable, but hopefully he can sell me in the next film. But for sure, I enjoyed from beginning to end. I just enjoyed all the fun stuff. So, Chris, what would you rate this film from 1 to 10?
I told Angel this too, and I'll still stick by it because, like you said, some of the actors are just like, they could have been more, but I give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay,
yeah.
7.
Like I said, it's just Tom Holland is still pretty much Spider-Man because it hasn't been like years like like Tobey Maguire or like Andrew Garfield. They can. It was
like 2 months. It was like 2 months ago, or almost like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh, that I know that actor. He's he's from Spider-Man, or that's Spider-Man. And with Mark Wahlberg, he's pretty much like an older. I don't want to say he's older.
He's
but he's getting to that age where it's like, damn, I remember this guy's films like way back in the day. Like people started saying that kind of stuff.
He's a vetted actor. Actor.
Yeah. But
7 out of 10 though.
yeah, overall 7 out of 10. It's a really good movie. I enjoyed it. You know, if you like Angel said, if you're just going in there just to watch the movie, it's a solid good movie. It really is.
Okay, Angel.
I'll stick to what I said. 10 out of 10. I guess from my gaming standpoint, I would say maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. Honestly, I think the cast, except for Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, everybody fit their character perfectly. I thought everybody was perfect. Tom Holland fits a perfect Nathan Drake when he's a younger, but we actually don't really see Nathan Drake young that often, so I guess that's why we can't really picture him. Mark Wahlberg, I feel like he played a good character, but we definitely didn't get the sell that I think everybody wanted. But yeah, it's a good movie. I think it's a really good movie. My fiance liked it. She thought it was a really good movie. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely must watch.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Okay, so you said 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
Damn, that's like
I praise it.
That's a masterpiece level in my rating. So,
I mean, like I've been waiting for this movie. I always thought like one day this movie's gonna come out. It's gonna come out, and it came out, and it didn't let me down. So, you know, I was, you know, I probably give it a 10.
That's good, though.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's your rating. That's for you to decide. Okay, so for me, final rating for me, casting was a little off. Some of the story plot was, for the most part, believable, and like for the most part, I already knew what I was getting to, so nothing really surprised me too much. There's like only one real surprise, and I'll talk about that in spoilers. And some of the character development wasn't really there, but since I already knew the characters beforehand, I already had an idea who they were. For anyone like average person, you didn't really see too much of that. And the action, all the shots, you know, for the most part, I'm gonna go with Chris. 7 out of 10. Pretty good movie. Just about reasonably above average. I recommend people to watch this if you're looking for a good action-packed Indiana-style film. We're gonna leave a little bit of blank spot, and we're gonna jump into the the spoilers. Okay, if you're in this part of the podcast, then we're gonna be spoiling a few of the plots. So it's your own fault. So don't blame us if you're. So what were some of your guys' favorite scenes on the film? Were there any surprises you were expecting or not expecting, or was it pretty standard?
First,
okay.
Go ahead.
My bad. All right. So I was gonna say one of my favorite scenes was when they find. Actually, it's kind of the betrayal scene, you know, where Chloe just does the whole "I'm gonna betray you really quick. I'm gonna be a real thief," and just, you know, points the gun at Nathan Drake, where they're at when they find the urns or whatever, you know, the urns.
Oh yeah, the urn scene. Yes.
Yeah, when they find the map, and I'm just like, damn, this is. I literally, in my head, I saw like, damn, this is the cutscene right here, dude. This is the the cutscene where they get betrayed or whatever, and I'm just like, shit, this is what's gonna go down. And I think they portrayed that scene very well. So that was one of my favorites, even though it was one of the betrayal scenes, but still, I enjoyed that scene.
Okay.
Very powerful.
Angel?
I think the scene I liked it a lot was when Santiago got betrayed. I'm like, we were watching the movie. Like, oh my god, this guy's like giving this speech, like cuts out. Hey, this guy sounds so pathetic, man. And then freaking, he just gets his neck slit open. I'm like, he deserved it. Honestly, I was like, I'm glad this guy's out the movie because he's a really good actor. I forgot his name.
Antonio Banderas. I forgot him too.
Literally, me and Omar were the only ones like, that's Antonio Banderas. That's El Zorro, bro. How do you forget El Zorro? He was in the Expendables movies. How do you come on?
I was looking at his face and I was like, I know his face, but why can't I remember it? And it was bugging me. My bad. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was that caught me off guard. I don't think anything else really, just except
nothing too big, because I agree that scene itself, the one where he gets murdered, it also surprised me a little bit. It's one of those scenes where I was expecting because he didn't feel like the real bad guy, you know, one of those things where you just like, he's bad, but he murdered his father, killed his dad. And I'm like, damn.
He seemed like a dad. Like, you know, like I said, his family had a lot of money, and he was just a person who just came from a lot of money, didn't know how to actually act like an adult, technically. So whenever he wanted something, he would just use his money to get it.
And then he gets murdered.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other thing too. That he thought he was like he thought he was like the main the main character or whatever. From I guess an easier way to say it for me was he thought he was the main character because he kept saying like, oh, that's the family heir, that's the family fortune. I need to get that back. I need to get that back. I'll do however whatever it takes, any means necessary, sort of thing.
And then he gets his
throat slashed. Yeah, that's irony. I think irony.
Yeah. I think for the most part, yeah. The whole thing, Chloe betraying Nathan, I foresaw that. But it's a good, it's interesting because in the games they do portray that they had a thing, they had a little fling. We'll see if that develops into anything. It's still early, so we'll see how that works. And then there's not really too much to spoil, really. It's just mostly talking about the end credits. The two things. His brother.
Yeah.
The scene with his brother, because we see him, I think, was it the second or the third game where we see his brother?
I think it's the second.
Isn't it the last? The fourth?
Is it the fourth game?
Yeah, because the fourth one is when they're on the, that's when they go for the pirate, the treasure chest. I mean, the treasure and all the gold and all stuff. That's the fourth one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the fourth one.
Oh, so they used the inspiration for the first movie on the fourth game. Okay,
yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I was trying to remember.
Because in the fourth one, that's when they show that's when they show Sam, and that's what they had in the opening of the movie. They showed them in the foster home, or I don't know what they call it. I guess over there, but
it's a foster
orphanage.
home. Yeah.
The orphanage.
Orphanage. So in the orphanage in the game, they started off there. They kind of did it differently. They're in a museum, but in the game, they were in somebody's house. But yeah, that's when they first showed Sam. That's why I was like, okay, they're starting from the last game because they show a young Nathan Drake. So that's why I thought, okay, it makes sense for them to start from the end of the game with the first movie being that because it was, But I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I just gotta get something like that. I feel like they really messed up by not having the whole pirate village. They could have did a whole entire movie.
That's right. You were telling me
that whole island.
Yeah, you were telling
everything.
Me
that would have been such a imagine all those houses, everything just crumbled apart in the game, and you got this big mansion with all these famous pirates. That would have been a beautiful movie.
That would have been nice, actually. Yeah, no, yeah, I was agreeing with Angel on that. If they had that, dude, that would have made the more the cinema, the whole. What's it called? How do I put it? A whole choreography, I think it's what it's called, right?
Cinematography.
Cinematography, yeah, that cinematography. That would have made it so much more better, dude.
That's the other thing. This hopefully will the next films, because we got the scene with Sam in prison, wherever he may be. And because the games themselves are all cinematically really good, because they're all in these really wide open shots in the wilderness, because you get some city shots, but when they're out in the wilderness exploring all this stuff, it's gonna be interesting. What treasure do you think they're going for next?
Oh, that's another thing I was telling Angel too. Dude, I think they're going for the German one. I honestly think they're going for the German one.
I was hoping they were doing the Lost City of Gold.
El Dorado.
That's what I was hoping for.
I think they'll probably switch it up because pretty much this whole movie right now is just based off of finding gold, a treasure, pretty much gold. So, I think it would. I don't know what they'll decide to do. I'm hoping that the movie does continue because it is pretty much based off how the movie sells. So.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. It's for sure they're gonna continue.
What would you really like? Why would you really want to see that? City of Gold.
City of Gold is great because that's when you first get to see the reason why Nathan Drake has the chain, the ring, and they have to use that for it.
Okay.
That's and if they use some of the plot from the first game, that'd be great. Now the thing is, here's my biggest question though, is this movie itself didn't really have anything supernatural or cursed or anything. Do you want them to add that with the films because of what all the other stuff happens in the games, like the zombies, the abominables, people?
Honestly, I do. I want to see the Nazi zombies. That's I really want to see. But no, also the abominable creatures. Yeah, I want to see that too. If they if they ever get to that, but that'd be cool to see, and see how they actually portray that in the big screen instead of these are just Yetis or ice monsters or whatever they want to call it at that point. But yeah, I definitely want to see that. That would be pretty cool, personally.
Yeah, I believe they should too, because I think they should just keep it to what the game is. If you're gonna make the movie based off the game, then just stick with it the whole way and don't try to cut anything out. Because I think that's what made the movie really big with all the players that played the game. So just kind of just give the fans what they want.
You know what's good is this is the first film, and they did a good job for general audience to give you an idea who Nathan Drake is, just in general. This person who's on a journey to find treasure with these other individuals who are also looking for treasure. That's the basic plot of this film. And I'm glad that it's good for the first movie to not add this weird supernatural stuff, because none of the gold was cursed or anything. They were just like a betrayal and stuff, right? There's nothing there. And adding it into the next couple films as everyone knows, like, sometimes like Egyptian treasure is cursed and you'll have the mummy's curse or stuff like that.
Like mummy.
Yeah. Adding that to the other treasures in the future will give you a little bit more like, oh, there is something a little bit more supernatural. I think adding it in the first movie for fans of the games who were like, yes, that makes sense. Maybe for like the average viewer, it would have been a little bit too much, because the movie was only an hour and a half, I think, roughly.
2 hours.
Was it 2 hours?
Hour 50.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 50.
Something. It was up there. I felt the time itself right there, it wasn't too bloated. It had enough action and everything to fill it out. Nothing too crazy. Minus flying ships crashing in the air with helicopters. But that's
that was cool though. I know that was cool. I like that too. That was another scene I like, the flying shot. That's
a shot you would get in the games. That's literally a shot you would get in the games, and it's perfect.
I like that one.
But yeah, so let's hope they add some more supernatural stuff in the near future. Is there anything you guys want to finish off? Any final thoughts?
I just hope they actually, like, maybe they do some like 1-for-1 from the game and to the movies. That's, personally, that's what just not even like a big scene, just like a random scene or something, like, hey, that could be an opening scene, a middle scene, even maybe like an ending scene or something. But that's what I kind of hope for, because I want to feel like, damn, that's the game right there. This is what we played as playing.
Yes.
So
what about you, Angel?
I kind of want to just kind of be like a surprise, but let me ask you guys a question. Would you think it would be kind of like for a director, kind of like half-assing it, if he just pretty much just take the game, copy and paste the storyline, and just put it into
I think
the
so.
movie?
I would. I like that they tried something different for this film.
No, I think they should stick to just kind of like, I guess like the first movie was a good way to like kind of bring in like those memories, like certain scenes of the game. But I think from like now on, like, stick to that storyline, but just have it like in a whole new image, like different scenes. Like, don't put anything that relates to the game, because then you kind of create it into a new, like I said, new story. So, but we'll know until it comes out to the next one.
Okay, here's my final question: do you want them to introduce the other female lead from the first Uncharted character?
Yeah, I think so. I think it would. Yeah, I do.
I'll agree. Yeah, I'll agree with this one. Yeah, I think they should.
Because go for it.
I was gonna say it'll make it more interesting, and it'll go with what I said before, that it'll be like, oh, it's just like the game, that's kind of what I'm looking for personally. So I think that'd be pretty nice.
What I want her to be is kind of what she was in the game a little bit, because now that moving forward, we're just gonna get a bunch of these treasure hunters, right? All these other people trying to go hunt the treasure, backstab each other to whoever gets to the treasure first. And having her, because she was always just that documentarian, just like kind of like a voice of reason in a sense, where like, why are you doing all this crazy stuff? Like, just like be the people's thoughts, like, why are you jumping from pillar of pillar when there's nothing to fall into the depths of nothing, right? But yeah, let's hope they do add her in the coming films, because if
now that I remember something, now I know I want them to add one person to the next movie, hopefully.
Who?
How do you pronounce his name? Rafe Adler?
Yeah, I think that's their name.
Rafe Adler?
I think that's their name.
Yeah, that guy, dude. Oh my god, in the Uncharted 4, oh my goodness, he was good. I liked him a lot. I don't know, I just liked him. I hope they bring him as a villain. That's what he was, right? Yeah, that's all I had to say.
I was looking at this right now. I was looking at like people that could have fans were putting like cast as Nathan Drake. I think it's really fitted perfect. Bradley Cooper as Nathan Drake.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bradley Cooper. He does kind of look like a Nathan Drake.
Could
Yeah,
you
they're
guys
all- they're-
could you guys see them like maybe doing like a time skip where they take Tom Holland out of the movie and put like an older version of Nathan Drake, or do you think, or like technically they did a time skip, they could put an older version of Nathan Drake and they could put an older version of Sully, so then technically we would get the characters with how we see them as in the game. Would you see them doing that, or would you want them to do that?
No, I can see that happening actually.
I wouldn't want them. I could see. Oh my God, Bradley Cooper, Nathan Drake. I could have saw that. But would I want it? No. It's just gonna feel. It's gonna feel weird a little bit. And also for the audience, like general audience, it's just explaining like, yeah, this is how Nathan Drake. Mostly when you're trying to make it.
Understand it.
Yeah, mostly when you're trying to do a movie franchise. As much as I would like that, I don't think it would work out wise. And maybe if they get Tom Holland to kind of grow out like some stubble or something.
Yeah.
He just looked too young. He just looked too young. That's the issue I had a lot of the times. He just looked too young. Yeah. He has like a boyish charm to him.
Dude, he is a boy. What are you talking about?
They said the perfect Sully would have been Jeff Bridges.
Dude, he's like 28.
Bridges? Really?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges would have been the perfect Sully.
Jeff Bridges, real. Let me see. Hold on, I don't want to do this.
While you do that, let me see how old Tom Holland is.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. Damn it, that's true. Jeff Bridges would have been a good Sully. God, internet's doing God's work.
Actually, Tom Holland's the same age as your brother.
Wait, whose brother?
Yours.
20.
Yeah.
He's that young? Wait, I'm not like he's that young. I'm just not used to.
Wait, how? You're not that old. Okay, but yeah, so that's kind of our thoughts. Those are kind of there's some fun, interesting fan casts. They always do that for video game or more like live action ones.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say I'm looking side by side of Sully and Jeff Bridges, dude. Dude, he all he needed to do was give him a haircut and maybe shave off the beard and leave the mustache. But damn, dude, God, that's so crazy.
It's one of those things, yeah. Okay, guys, thanks everyone for listening. I'm gonna let these guys call them out. Is there anything you guys want to shout out, Angels or Chris?
If you haven't played Uncharted, go play the game. You would love it. If you love the movie, if you haven't played the game, go do that instantly, and you'll see what we're talking about. Because honestly, it's one of the greatest franchise games I've ever played in my life. So,
okay.
Yeah, I have to agree with Angel. If you haven't played, if you literally just watched it and you have no idea what the Uncharted series is, or you didn't know what Uncharted was, and you really like the movie, yeah, definitely go play the games.
Play the game or watch someone play the games because they're just worth cinematically worth
or
watching.
Or just watch like the Uncharted cinematic scenes on YouTube. Dude, that's like a whole hour and maybe 2 hours. I'm not even joking. It's really good. Yeah, but just get yourself into that if you really liked it. But I'm not saying get into it because it's Uncharted or whatever, but just if you liked it, then yeah, definitely check into it.
Okay.
And let me give him one game spoiler. The missions are not going to be as easy as it was in the movie. So if you're going to play, you're going to have some difficult times.
Yeah, dude,
exactly.
Quick time is out.
So nothing else to shout out? Nothing more? Okay. As always, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Go check out our merch and what else? Yeah, that's about it. Everyone, thanks again for listening. Chris and Angel, thank you for joining me on this fun endeavor as we continue to watch some of these video game stuff. But yeah, until next time, see ya.